The Sahara Desert is one of the most mysterious places on Earth. But beneath its endless dunes, something unexpected may be hiding. Satellite scans show massive linear anomalies, subsurface voids, and structures stretching for miles. Some believe these are ancient tunnels built thousands of years ago. The Sahara Desert, an endless ocean of sand, scorching sun, and one of the most inhospitable places on Earth. We think of it as a vast, empty wasteland. But what if the real Sahara, the one that holds the key to our ancient past, isn't on the surface at all? What if it's hidden right beneath our feet? For decades, we've been scanning our planet from space, mapping every mountain, river, and city. But when we turned our most advanced sensors toward the Sahara, we found something that shouldn't be there. Beneath the dunes, hidden from sight, are massive, linear anomalies, subsurface voids, and strange, interconnected structures stretching for miles and miles. Some researchers believe these aren't just geological quirks. They believe these are ancient, man-made tunnels, thousands of kilometers long, built by a civilization lost to time. Could an entire world be buried under the sand? A world that could rewrite everything we know about human history. The first hints of this subterranean mystery emerged in the late 20th century. Researchers using ground-penetrating radar and satellite imagery to study the Sahara's geology noticed something baffling. They found kilometer-long shadows lurking just beneath the surface. At first, they were dismissed as natural formations, perhaps ancient riverbeds or erosion channels carved by water long ago. But the more they looked, the less natural these features appeared. They were too straight, too uniform. In some regions, they seemed to form complex, interconnected grids, like a subway map designed by an ancient engineer. Geologists were stumped. No known natural process creates perfectly straight, parallel tunnels that run for hundreds of kilometers and sometimes intersect at sharp, deliberate angles. Erosion carves meandering paths. Tectonic activity creates jagged faults. Lava tubes are often winding and irregular. These Saharan anomalies were different. They were precise. They looked engineered. It was as if someone had taken a giant ruler and drawn a network of roads deep within the earth. The evidence was pointing to an uncomfortable, almost unbelievable conclusion: that these weren't natural caves at all. They were artificial. The question was, who could have possibly built them, and why? To answer that, we have to travel back in time, to a Sahara you wouldn't recognize. About 12,000 years ago, during a period known as the African Humid Period, the Sahara was a paradise. It was green, lush grasslands, deep lakes, and winding rivers covered the landscape. Forests thrived where there are now only dunes, and where there is water, tarries life. We know from archaeological evidence that early human settlements dotted this green Sahara. They hunted, they fished, they built communities. They were thriving. And when people thrive, they build. We build homes, temples, and cities. But what if they also built? A vast underground network could have served incredible purposes in this ancient world. It could have connected distant villages, creating a hidden highway for trade and communication, safe from predators or rival tribes. It could have been an ingenious aqueduct system, a way to store and transport water from the abundant lakes and rivers to drier regions, allowing agriculture to flourish. These tunnels might have even been entire subterranean cities, offering shelter from the elements or a refuge during times of conflict. Imagine communities living and working in a world hidden from the sun, their lives connected by a web of underground corridors. It sounds like science fiction, but for a civilization facing a changing world, it might have been the ultimate survival strategy. And this brings us to one of the most intriguing pieces of the puzzle: the Nubian Sandstone Aquifer System. This is one of the largest underground freshwater systems on the entire planet, a colossal reservoir of ancient water locked deep beneath the Sahara. Now, here's where it gets strange. When we map this aquifer, we find that the water doesn't just sit in one giant underground lake. It flows through long, narrow channels, some of which bear an uncanny resemblance to man-made tunnels. Analysis of these subterranean channels reveals sections with eerily straight walls, consistent widths that barely change over dozens of kilometers, and most bizarrely of all, sudden, perfect 90-degree turns. Nature doesn't typically work in right angles. Rivers meander, and groundwater seeps through porous rock in irregular patterns. But here, deep beneath the desert, we find what looks like intentional design. This raises a mind-bending question. Did an ancient civilization carve into this natural aquifer system, modifying and expanding it for their own use? Or is it possible they discovered something even older, a pre-existing structure, a relic from an even more distant past, which they then repurposed? Either possibility is staggering. It suggests a level of geological engineering and sophisticated knowledge that history tells us shouldn't have existed back then. Of course, scientific data is one thing, but what about human memory? What about the stories passed down through generations across North Africa? From the Tuareg nomads of the deep desert to the peoples of Egypt and Libya. Ancient legends and myths speak of a world beneath the ground. They tell stories of the people who lived beneath the earth, a mysterious race who built hidden roads connecting a secret kingdom. There are tales of great cities swallowed whole by the sand, their inhabitants retreating into tunnels to escape a great catastrophe. For centuries, these have been dismissed as mere folklore, campfire stories to explain the unforgiving nature of the desert. But what if they aren't just myths? What if they are distorted memories, the fragmented recollections of a real, historical truth, passed down through countless generations? Could the legends of underground cities and hidden roads be a cultural echo of this massive, real-world tunnel system? It's a tantalizing thought that the proof of this lost world isn't just in satellite data, but has been hiding in plain sight all along, woven into the very fabric of the local cultures. The stories were trying to tell us something, but we weren't ready to listen. Today, we are listening, and our technology is getting more powerful every year. Modern satellite Ares, equipped with advanced radar and thermal imaging, are peeling back the layers of sand with unprecedented clarity, and the evidence is growing stronger and more difficult to ignore. We can now see these long tunnels extending directly underneath massive sand dunes, proving they are not surface features. We see sets of parallel channels, sometimes 3 or 4 running side by side, too uniform and too consistent to be natural river. We're detecting enormous voids, subterranean chambers measuring hundreds of meters across, connected by these long corridors. The cross-sections of some of these anomalies perfectly match the dimensions of human-made passageways, like a subway tunnel. The sheer scale is what's truly mind-boggling. Some of these confirmed systems stretch for hundreds of kilometers, but the data hints at something even bigger. A few interconnected networks seem to span potentially thousands of kilometers, crossing modern-day national borders, from Libya through Egypt and deep into Sudan. If this through it would represent the single largest construction project in human history, built by a people we don't even know existed. This, of course, leads to the ultimate question. If these tunnels are real, who built them? The timeline is so deep, the possibilities are as vast as the desert itself. Could they have been built by a sophisticated civilization that thrived during the Green Sahara period? A culture whose achievements have been completely erased by sand and time? Or perhaps they were built later, by people desperately trying to escape the dramatic climate collapse that turned their green paradise into a deadly desert. Building underground would have been a desperate, but brilliant, act of survival. Some theories connect them to the survivors of a hypothesized African megaflood, an ancient cataclysm that reshaped the continent. And tenteres, the most profound possibility of all, that these tunnels were built by a culture far older than any recorded civilization, a predecessor culture, a lost chapter of the human story whose only remaining legacy is this colossal, silent network beneath the sand. These tunnels could be the final, definitive clue that we are a species with amnesia, that our history is far richer, older, and more complex than we can possibly imagine. The Sahara Desert is not empty. It's full of secrets. It may be hiding an entire world, a lost civilization's masterpiece, waiting beneath the sand. The evidence is mounting, and the questions are becoming too big to ignore. If we finally confirm and uncover this network, human history will not just be it will be transformed forever. We would have to rethink who we are and where we come from. So I'll ask you, if you had the chance, would you be brave enough to explore these ancient tunnels? Let me know what you think in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this journey into the unknown, Be sure to like and subscribe for more.